Previously on the show, the Salvatore brothers confided in their mother about Julian's evil nature and hoped she would help them kill Julian, but Lily refused to believe them. Valerie discovered that Joe's twins were still alive. It turned out that before the Gemini Coven was destroyed, they had transferred Joe's unborn twins into Caroline's body. Bonnie and Enzo found a phoenix sword. When combined with the phoenix stone, this sword could trap vampires inside the phoenix stone. Lily finally saw Julian's true colors and decided to help her sons get rid of him. Before killing Julian, they needed his blood to sever the life bond between him and Lily, but they would need the help of the heretics. However, the heretics viewed Julian as a father figure. To break their bond, they'd have to shatter Julian's perfect image. Valerie believed that if she revealed the truth from the past, combined with Lily's persuasion, the heretics would side with them. But Enzo wasn't so optimistic. He met with Lily before the plan began. Since Lily had seen through Julian's facade, Enzo had regained hope and wanted to run away with her. But Lily was determined to stay and help her sons defeat Julian. Meanwhile, Julian, in celebration of Nora and Mary's 100th anniversary as a couple, hypnotized a group of humans once again. These humans would not only create a lively atmosphere but also serve as a feast, allowing the vampires to feed freely. Though Lily was displeased, she played along to avoid raising suspicion. The Salvatore brothers, alerted by their mother, prepared to crash the party. But before they could leave, Caroline showed up, wanting to talk to Stefan about the babies. "I'm pregnant. The babies are your friends." Strictly speaking, Caroline hadn't betrayed Stefan, but the news of her pregnancy left Stefan stunned for a few seconds. He wasn't sure whether to be angry or relieved. In order to deal with Julian, Stefan had to leave in a hurry. Stefan's hasty exit without clarifying things would inevitably leave unresolved tension between them. Julian had already become suspicious of Lily's unusual behavior that morning, making the heretics' loyalty even more crucial. Julian was a master manipulator, skilled at winning people over. Mary had prepared a small diamond ring as a gift for her girlfriend, Nora. Julian first praised it, then presented his own treasure, a diamond ring from the French royal family. Mary was overjoyed. Lily's gift to Nora, on the other hand, was a book of poetry, the same one Lily had recited to them repeatedly when they were trapped in the prison world. Nora was deeply moved. Both Lily and Julian were trying to win the heretics over to their side. At the party, Julian specifically played one of Beau's songs. Before his vocal cords were damaged, Beau had been a famous singer. Julian's gesture greatly pleased him. Sensing the time was right, Julian finally made his move against Lily, urging her to abandon her sons, claiming they would never fit into their family.
You have all the love that you need right here. All you have to do is accept it. Come back to us, Lily. Let go and allow yourself to be the woman that I fought through hell for.
Lily almost wavered under Julian's sweet words, but just then, Damon arrived. He was disappointed in his bloodthirsty mother. Lily quickly followed after him to explain her actions. She had been trying to allay Julian's suspicions. Damon's expression was filled with disdain, and his words were sharp. He urged his mother to win the heretics over to their side as soon as possible. Julian had to die tonight. Lily slapped Damon. At this moment, she looked a bit like a mother.
I am your mother. How can you be so cavalier about my life?
Because you're already dead to me, Lily.
On the other side, Mary proposed to Nora with Julian's royal diamond ring. Overwhelmed with joy, Nora burst into tears, and the two kissed passionately. Unexpectedly, Valerie came at this inopportune moment, hoping to use one thing to help Mary and Nora see Julian's true colors. Heartbroken, Enzo had been binge-drinking human blood and was caught red-handed by Matt. Matt taunted Enzo, saying, "Damon doesn't want you, and Lily doesn't love you. What are you even still doing here?" Enzo, furious, shot back at Matt. "The heretics are stomping all over your beloved hometown, and you're powerless to stop them." Matt did not retaliate in the face of Enzo's mockery. Feeling smug, Enzo was ambushed on his way out. A group of well-equipped, highly trained hunters captured him. These were the reinforcements Matt had called in. He was determined to take back the town from the heretics, this time without any help from vampires. Meanwhile, to help her sons defeat Julian, Lily gathered all the heretics and had Valerie explain the truth about her miscarriage. Even with Lily's backing, the other three heretics were still hesitant. Beau was the first to step forward. Though his expression was fierce, he gently embraced Valerie. Nora followed, choosing to believe Valerie as well. Mary, however, remained standing still, her expression unreadable. Of the three, Mary was the most loyal to Julian, and he had already bought her off with the diamond ring. Seeing her girlfriend Nora's displeasure, Mary reluctantly joined their side. Meanwhile, the Salvatore brothers confronted Julian head-on. Their mission was to get Julian's blood and sever his life bond with Lily. As Julian was wounded, the same injuries manifested on Lily. Seeing this, Mary hurriedly used a handkerchief to staunch Lily's bleeding. Finally, the brothers overpowered Julian. Damon stayed behind to guard Julian, while Stefan delivered the blood to his mother. With the battle essentially over, Stefan took the opportunity to tell Lily about his girlfriend's pregnancy. "The babies are my friends," he confessed. Lily was shocked. She thought Stefan would be deeply hurt. But Stefan, calm, said it wasn't so bad. He hadn't truly been betrayed. He hoped his mother could offer some advice. "Of course, forgive her. Tell her you love her," Lily advised. As mother and son shared a heartfelt conversation, Valerie went to visit Julian. She had been waiting for this moment for over 100 years. Julian, instead of being enraged by the insult, laughed it off. At that moment, Mary also arrived. She had never believed Valerie's story, so her betrayal now was no surprise. Julian was elated. That royal diamond ring had been well worth the cost. When Valerie and Mary didn't return, Lily realized something was wrong. Without breaking the life bond, she rushed over. Julian, furious at Lily's betrayal, decided to punish her. He forced her to choose between Damon and Valerie. One must die. One was her estranged son, filled with resentment toward her. The other was her adopted daughter, who had been by her side for over a century. Both were dear to her. Meanwhile, Nora confronted a guilt-ridden Mary. Upon learning that Mary had sided with Julian, Nora was deeply disappointed. She took off the diamond ring Mary had given her, symbolizing the end of their relationship. Damon had never held out hope for his mother, knowing she always chose the heretics over him, so he demanded that she just give him a quick and final death. Lily first walked over to Valerie, praising her for being a strong girl. Then she approached Damon, her eyes filled with emotion.
Please forgive me.
Julian, thinking Lily had made her decision, urged her to act swiftly, but instead Lily defied him. "Julian, you're wrong. You can't control me anymore," she declared. Lily drove a wooden stake through her own heart, intending to die together with Julian. However, Julian remained unscathed. It turned out that before Lily arrived, Julian had severed the life bond with Mary's help. When Lily had been injured earlier, Mary had collected her blood. Though Julian did love Lily, he loved himself more. Otherwise, he wouldn't have driven her to the point of suicide. When Stefan and Nora arrived, Julian quickly fled. As Lily lay dying, everyone came to say their goodbyes. The heretics had lost their leader. Stefan too had lost his mother.
Nora gave me back the ring.
Lily's death left Julian heartbroken, torn between guilt and bitterness. He claimed that breaking the spell had been to protect Lily. If he had been killed by the Salvatore brothers, she would have died along with him. Julian's tears were both real and staged, an emotional release, but also a ploy to win over Mary. Damon was, once again, the last one to say goodbye. Lily's eyes were filled with hope, believing that her sacrifice could finally break her son's resentment toward her. Stefan, too, hoped that his brother could let go of his grudge before their mother passed.
"You made your bed. Have a nice nap."
Until her dying breath, Lily never received Damon's forgiveness. Since Lily's death, Julian had become a loose cannon. He indulged in bloodlust without restraint, even killing all the Santa Clauses in a bar on Christmas Day. Following Bonnie's locator spell, Stefan and Damon tracked Julian down, discovering his grisly massacre at the bar. Meanwhile, after her breakup with Mary, Nora wanted to experience college life. At first, Bonnie wasn't fond of Nora, but to gather information about Julian, she reluctantly accepted her. Nora confided in Bonnie that Julian hated being alone. Before he was sealed away, he had built an army of vampires. Back at the bar filled with bodies, the Salvatore brothers lay in wait, and sure enough, a drunken Julian stumbled in. Tensions ran high, and a brutal fight was imminent. Julian carried the phoenix sword, its hilt set with the phoenix stone. He taunted the brothers, telling them that any vampire whose heart was pierced by the phoenix sword would have their soul sucked into the phoenix stone, trapped in a personal hell. At that moment, Damon received a warning from Bonnie. Julian wasn't alone. Sure enough, during the days Julian had been missing, he had been rallying his followers. Sensing danger, Damon ignited the liquor in the bar, creating an explosion and narrowly escaping. Stefan, however, was determined to kill Julian and wouldn't back down, but Damon had no desire to stir up more trouble for their dead mother.
You acted like a spoiled little brat. Coward.
Road trip's over, brother. You want to go back and risk it? Go for it. I'm going home.
While Bonnie was out doing good deeds with Nora, Mary showed up with a Christmas gift. Mary wouldn't admit she had chosen the wrong side. Tired of fighting, she asked Nora to come home with her. But Nora wanted to stay and experience college life, believing Mary was too scared of change to integrate into this world. They parted on bad terms again. After parting ways with his brother, Stefan teamed up with Valerie and captured Mary. His plan was to lure Julian out. Unexpectedly, Julian not only found Damon but also told Nora about Mary's kidnapping. Feeling betrayed, Nora immediately knocked Bonnie unconscious. Julian blamed Damon for Lily's death, curious to know what Damon's personal hell would look like and whether Lily would be part of it. Just as Julian was about to stab Damon through the heart with the phoenix sword, Stefan arrived. The brothers fought Julian together, but Julian's strength far surpassed theirs. After a brutal battle, they were all severely injured. In a final desperate move to save his brother, Damon charged at Julian, only for Julian to thrust the phoenix sword into Damon's heart. The phoenix stone on the phoenix sword glowed, and Damon's soul was drawn into it. Stefan could only watch helplessly as his brother collapsed, dead. Julian pulled the phoenix sword from Damon's body and left, triumphant. Stefan yearned for revenge, but in the end, Damon paid the price for him. Meanwhile, Valerie, who was supposed to be keeping watch, let her guard down for a moment, and Mary was rescued right under her nose. Caroline came to comfort Stefan, who was very remorseful. They all placed their hopes of reviving Damon on Bonnie, but they couldn't get through to her on the phone. Stefan recalled Julian's words. Vampires sucked into the phoenix stone would endure an endless personal hell of guilt and punishment. Damon's personal hell was the Civil War in 1863, a battlefield he had lived through.
He can survive this. Even if he can, he'll be different.
Nora, wielding the phoenix sword, came looking for Stefan to settle the score. Caught off guard, Stefan's soul was also drawn into the phoenix stone. With both vampire brothers now dead, the story was about to reach its climax. After Damon's death, his soul returned to the autumn of 1863 amid the chaos of war. As a cheerful bugle sounded, Damon awoke in the trenches, greeted warmly by his comrade Henry. "You're awake, hero." Damon received a letter from his brother. Stefan was heartbroken over a failed romance and unable to sleep. Worried about his brother, Damon rushed to ask his commander for leave, but the ongoing war made the commander refuse his request. Damon hurriedly made his position clear, explaining that he did not want to shirk responsibility and was willing to take on other dangerous tasks in exchange for time off. The commander offered Damon a tough job. There were rumors of a few Confederate deserters hiding in a Union-supporting farmhouse. Damon was to bring them back. So Damon and Henry set out for the farmhouse to capture the deserters. Henry was hesitant, noting that the deserters just wanted to go home, just like them. Damon didn't deny it, but he needed to get back to his brother, and the deserters were just his ticket home. As they talked, they arrived at the farmhouse, smoke rising from its chimney. Damon knocked on the door. The woman inside was wary and refused to let them in, so Damon and Henry forced their way in. Inside lived 3 generations of a family. Henry searched the upstairs while Damon lied to reassure the family, searching the living room. Suddenly, the young girl opened a hidden door, and 2 armed deserters burst out from the cellar. The rumors were true. Outnumbered, Damon had no choice but to put down his gun.
I want to go home too.
The deserters just wanted to go home. Damon was about to leave, but then noticed Henry lying in ambush. Damon was eager to see his brother again, so he turned around and faced the enemy's gun. In the ensuing fight, Damon and Henry not only killed the deserters, but also slaughtered the host family. As they stood in regret, a noise came from the cellar. Could there be more deserters hiding down there? Damon descended into the cellar to investigate, only to find his mother, Lily. Damon was shocked, then slowly realized that none of this was real. Lily explained that his soul was trapped inside the Phoenix Stone, and this was the hell created by his past sins. Back then, Damon and Henry had covered up the massacre without any remorse, and Lily hoped he could finally confront his guilt. But Damon remained unrepentant, making excuses for his actions. Lily was deeply disappointed in him. Damon gave a wicked smile. If this is his personal hell, then it deserves a bad review. He refused to repent.
This isn't about remorse, Damon.
The scene shifted as Damon was resurrected by Bonnie using the Phoenix Stone. But Bonnie was worried. What if she had summoned the wrong soul? Only then did Damon realize he had been dead for 3 months. And after his death, Stefan had been killed by Nora, his soul also trapped in the Phoenix Stone. Reviving Damon had drained all of Bonnie's magic, leaving Stefan's soul still trapped inside. Damon rushed to check on his brother's body, but it had been stolen by Julian, who left a note inviting Damon to a barbecue. Damon went to confront Julian and demand Stefan's body. Julian, who had been trapped in the Phoenix Stone for over a century, was amazed by how quickly Damon had returned. Julian didn't know what Damon's personal hell had been like, but in Julian's hell, he was forced to watch his lover die over and over again in order to escape, even having to kill his lover with his own hands.
Overall, I give Hell 1 star for horror and 2 very disappointed thumbs down for clever use of parable.
Damon was dismissive of the Phoenix Hellstone, saying he had expected something more impressive. Julian's smile turned sinister as he lit Stefan's body on fire with a lighter. Damon rushed to put out the flames, but Julian yelled at him. "You've been running from pain your whole life, selfishly pushing people away." As Damon shoved Julian aside, Lily's figure appeared again. Damon, once more shocked, suddenly understood he had never escaped the Phoenix Stone.
Hi there, hero.
This was all an illusion, but it felt so real. Damon found himself back on the battlefield, trapped in an endless loop. The key to escaping the Phoenix Stone was understanding the meaning of his mother's words. So, can Damon really escape the Phoenix Hellstone? Stay tuned for the next episode.